Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading will be, it's a weekly reading focusing on the energies surrounding us during the week of August 13th through the 19th, 2018. As I like to remind you, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order a private reading from me. If you're interested, all of the information on how to do that, all the contact links, they all can be found in the description box below this video. So if you're interested, take a look at that, and I'll be happy to set you up with a private reading. As you can see, I am not in my usual setting. I'm actually away for the next couple of weeks. So, I apologize in advance for different lighting and the different setups here, but I'm away. But of course, I brought my the smallest of my decks and my new favorite deck with me, so I'll be using the Zillich Tarot deck. And since I didn't bring any of my oracle cards because they're very kind of clunky and hard to carry around with me, I decided to do for this weekly spread, which is something different, a mini cross. So the reading, it's usually I do a 3-card spread plus an oracle card. For this one, I'll be doing a mini cross. So I'll go through the cards, show you those as we work through the messages here. All right, so at the center of the reading. Now, and this is pretty amazing, actually. You'll see what I'm talking about when I start showing the cards. So we have, in the center position, this is the Lovers card. It's Major Arcana number 6, the Lovers. And it's crossed by Major Arcana number 14, Temperance. I'll show you all the cards first, then I'll go through the messages. At the foundation, we have Major Arcana number 19, the Universe. This would be the World card. In the recent past, we have the 8 of Discs. This is the 8 of Pentacles and is called Prudence in this particular deck. The crowning card for the reading, so the message from our higher self, we have Major Arcana number 20, Justice. And the near future, we have the 8 of Wands, which in this deck is called Swiftness. And from the bottom of the deck, actually there are 2 cards. I mean, the card at the bottom of the deck is the 4 of Discs, but immediately below it we have another Major Arcana, so I'm kind of going to look at both of these together. And we have 2 of Wands, but okay. You know what? Let's take all 3 of those. So we have, from the bottom of the deck, the 4 of Discs, which this would be the 4 of Pentacles. In this deck it's called Power. Followed by Major Arcana number 17, the Star, and the 2 of Wands, Dominion. So, the first thing I'll point out is how many Major Arcana cards we have in our reading. Out of this small spread, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm counting these here, 5 Major Arcana cards, 2 Pentacles, 2 Wands. Okay, so significant messages coming through, very powerful messages, a lot of divine orchestration, divine timing at play, I would say, this week. And at the center of it all is this major decision, right? The Lovers card crossed by Temperance. This is with the Lovers and being crossed by Temperance here, you could be dealing with possibly a Gemini, male or female, or Sagittarius. But, the Lovers card, more than anything, it speaks of a significant decision, right? And it's a very powerful sort of head or heart decision. In earlier tarot decks, this card was actually called the Choice. And there would usually be, a picture of a man kind of facing 2 women or a woman facing 2 men. And it indicated or implied that there would be some type of difficult decision, and that this decision would affect not just the person doing the choosing, but, everybody involved in the situation. So there could be a very significant decision that, is at the center really here, and is kind of what you're focusing on. Yes, it could be, also a relationship. I mean, obviously, the Lover's card speaks of a very deep soulmate connection with another individual. Can definitely be romantic in nature. Doesn't necessarily have to be, right? We know that soulmates can appear in the form of friends, in the form of, just sort of colleagues, partners. We have many different soulmates during our lives, and obviously some of them can be romantic in nature. So there could be a very significant, romantic relationship at the center of the reading here. And what's crossing it is this Temperance card. And wait, going back to this Lover's card. Let me hold it up so you can take a look at it here. And you see how there's this coming together. It's funny because both of these cards, although they're different, the images and some of the messages coming through with, let me hold them up together. Some of the messages coming through with this Lover's card and the Temperance card, there's this balance, this sort of opposing energies, right? Because with the Lover's card, what love, especially in this particular deck, what it speaks of is this, uniting, that love is able to unite opposites. Love is able to bring these sort of opposites together. And it's also about, being receptive, being open to that other half, to that opposing energy, and then coming together in order to form this one, right? And then with the Temperance card is all about balance. And you can see that on the card, the woman is she's pouring from one cup to the other. There's this implied, or necessary balance between what she's pouring, and it's this never-ending cycle. And so an ending, through one ending, there's a new beginning. And in this deck as well, there's also a message that has to do with like the path. Like, what's important is the path, right? The path is the destination. And so, these are kind of us, or it's us advancing along our path. Practicing moderation, practicing balance. And the Temperance card can speak of delays. It can have to do with, sort of divine timing on things happening. It's what's helping or hindering this decision here, this Lover's card. So there could be some type of delay. There might be divine timing at play. The Temperance card also asks us to, to keep in mind that we need moderation in our life, everything in moderation. So this has to do with, the balance between our relationships and our work, between our home and sort of the outside world. In all areas of our life, it's really asking us to have this balance. And then also about this new beginning, possibly. The endings, new beginnings, could have something to do with this relationship, decision. And then at the foundation, we have the World card. This is the universe. And the universe is the last of the major arcanas, right? And it's a completion. This is the completion of a very long chapter in our lives. So that, and this is in the deep past at the foundation. There could be, this is significant ending occurring here for many of us. And there's there's this as above, so below type of message. And it's a very very cyclical, right? We're ending one very long cycle and we're getting ready to begin a brand new cycle. And the universe is all about completion. It's about, the Fool begins his journey at the 0 card, and then he goes through, the major arcanas, all of these spiritual lessons and he growth until finally reaching this universe card. So, there's this sort of eternal cycle of releasing, and then, binding, or dying and then rebirth. It's all about the cycles and how, again, we need to have patience. There needs to be balance as we're dealing with these endings and new beginnings. In the recent past, this 8 of discs, or 8 of pentacles. Pentacles is earth energy, and, the earth, the suit of earth, it deals with the tangible things here in the material realm. So, we're looking at, for example, the money that we earn from the work that we do. It's our resources. It has to do with, knowledge, education, our homes, all of our material possessions. And the Eight of Pentacles, or Eight of Discs, is usually referred to as the Apprentice card, and it has to do with working very hard, you just, working hard at whatever your craft is, to improve your skills, to learn all you can about your trade, about your profession, about being very diligent, hardworking. It can have to do with, doing some type of training, like even on-the-job training. It can have to do with going back to college, university, taking extra classes, getting some type of certification as well. But it's a card of discipline and about working towards your goals. It's very positive, and it's called prudence, which again kind of makes me think of, if you're prudent, you're very wise with your money. You're very wise and careful. So that also implies this, need for temperance, for balance, for moderation. So that message is also coming up here with the, sort of the finance or material card of the Eight of Discs. Crowning the reading, the message from your higher self, is the Justice card. So more major arcana energy here. And, this is the second to last of the major arcana cards. So it comes one before the World card, the Universe card. And the Justice speaks of, obviously, again, balance, right? Because the Justice card usually shows, this deck is a little bit different, the images on it, but usually there's, we have the Sword of Truth, we have the Scales of Justice, and it implies that, if things have been slightly difficult for you in the past, if you've been dealing with matters that were unfair, now the scales of justice are being tipped in your favor, things are going in your favor. Obviously, dealing with justice, it can have to do with, for some of you, with dealing with, the justice system, court system, legal proceedings, marriage, divorce proceedings, child custody, anything to do with, with the court system, dealing with a judge, a lawyer, legal counsel. But, it is, again, this balance and this things, the scales of justice being kind of equaled out or going in your favor now. So if you have been waiting for some type of answer, usually with this Justice card, it's very positive. There's, things going in your favor. You come out on top here. Now, before you start saying, okay, is she crazy? The Justice card is not card number 20. Card number 20 is the Judgment card. This deck, like I was saying, it does have different cards, slightly different meanings. So it's given the name of Justice. So I was just sort of giving you what usually the Justice card, the kind of the messages that we attach to the Justice card. But the Justice card in this particular deck is card number 11 and is called Adjustment. In this deck, card number 20, Justice, is, what would usually be the Judgment card. So it's interesting because, the messages coming off of the card, they do really go along with sort of the Justice card. But if we think of this, with the messages that we usually attach to the Judgment card, again, the Judgment card is very much in line with what we've been looking at, these major decisions, these major endings. This is about, this fresh start or, literally a judgment call, a very difficult decision. It can also have to do with, kind of coming back from the dead, this coming back to life, again, implying a new cycle. So, one old chapter ends and then this, new chapter begins here. So there's this cycle, this rebirth, this, could be this could be sort of the last decision that you're being asked to make before, this major ending with the Universe card, right? And again, the decision here. So that could definitely be a very difficult decision. And it's a decision that is going to open the door to this, this new future life. So, closing of old doors, opening of new doors. And what's coming in is the Eight of Wands. And this is, in this deck it's called swiftness, but usually the Eight of Wands is very fast-paced, it's fast-paced news coming in, it's things kind of changes in the air, there's this, it's like it's not quite here, but it's coming, we have all of these major arcana sort of showing us, implying that yes, there is this ending and brand new beginning, and change is just around the corner. It's coming in here. It's like we can almost feel it. We can, we're sensing it's in the air. We can sense this change coming in, but it's not quite here yet. But when it does come in, this could be, you could be asked to act on something quickly with the Eight of Wands. This might be you need to sort of make a decision quickly once you find out something. Sometimes this card is it's like this back and forth, quick emailing, messaging. So, if this is a decision, maybe this is a decision to do with your job. Maybe you've applied for a job and, now you finally hear back and you're messaging or emailing back and forth. If this is a decision with regards to a relationship, there could be news coming in quickly. If this has to do with, the main messages coming through are decisions, a need to take a sort of moderate or balanced or prudent approach to these decisions, and then major change, major cycles ending, major, new beginnings for us here. And so, with this Eight of Wands coming in, this is all about swift, quick, decisive action, right? The Suit of Wands itself is it's fire energy, and it deals with, those day-to-day matters, but it's very quick-paced. So this is, it's coming in, news coming in very quickly. And then with these three cards that I kind of pulled together from the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Discs. So this would be the overall energy for the week. The Four of Discs or Four of Pentacles, sometimes this card is referred to as the Miser card because it usually shows, this sort of man clutching his coins, not wanting to let any of them get away from him, not wanting to share with anybody else. And so it does kind of have this, negative, I guess, connotation that, you shouldn't be that protective over your money. Money needs to flow freely. There needs to be money coming in. You need to, to spend money, you need to save money, you need to use money very prudently, wisely, right? So it's that type of energy with this Four of Discs. Fours in the Tarot are also stable energy, so it's a card of stability as well. In this deck, he's called Power, and so this has to do with sort of very stable, solid foundations. And with it being paired with this Star card, Major Arcana, the Star, and then the Two of Wands, the Star card is all about wish fulfillment. This is a Major Arcana. It's, you setting your intentions, putting those wishes out into the universe, and then trusting, having that positive outlook that everything will work out, right? So it's not just... the Star card's also linked with Aquarius, and it's also a card that that can have to do with healing as well. It's a very healing energy. But the Star card is about, setting those intentions, putting them out into the universe, and then keeping that positive attitude, right? Trusting that everything will work out okay. Whatever you wished for, you have that positive outlook, and you trust that it will all work out as, as it is meant to, as you hope it will. And it's usually a very positive card, because it does speak of, this very, it speaks of success. It speaks of, as well, sort of, reaping what you have sowed here. You can see that there is this sort of planting of seeds. It's a little bit difficult to see here, but we have the girl on the card here is the it's the ancient Greek goddess of harvest, and so she's sort of sowing with her right hand while while harvesting with her left. And so it's about having success from from being optimistic, but also not just keeping that optimism. It's also you, obviously you have to do your part. You have to water the seeds that you plant. You have to, take care of them for them to grow. So it's you doing your part, but also trusting in the universe for the universe to do, its part as well. There can be, since it's you doing your part and maybe needing somebody else's help, there could be, you or a partner might be quite significant. This Lover's card, it could be somebody else that's coming in that's going to be very significant with whatever this big change is going on. And then again, the Two of Wands. Twos in the Tarot have to do with choices, right? There's decisions to be made. And the Two of Wands, more fire energy. This is a very powerful energy. This is, you very much in control of where you're heading. This is usually, it's the kind of, we think of it as the crossroads card. It's the person, the man staring down both paths, trying to figure out which one is the right one for him. And there is no wrong or right? Each path would offer that man its own, opportunities and setbacks, and there is no right or wrong. They're all experiences. They're all important on our life's journey. But it's about you having the power to choose where you're going. So the choice that you're needing to make here, and we have that with the Lover's card. We have this judgment, this major judgment card up here. Whatever this decision is, it's you very much in control. And it's called dominion, right? So, there's it's about you picking which path, going down that path that you feel is right for you. And it's kind of like being a trailblazer. This might even have to do with, since it's wands, it could have to do with you starting down a completely new path, something that is very different to what you have been doing. And that could have to do with this significant ending and beginning, right? You could be beginning something that's brand new. So, it looks like an amazing week. It looks like a very powerful week. And I'm amazed to see this many major arcanas come out in such a, a small reading. So definitely very strong, significant messages coming through. So I do hope that the messages have helped you. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you all again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful week. Bye for now.